Good evening, Gabby.
Good evening, TC, and welcome all to our weekly podcast. Terry Curran's the Curran View with the Isle of Hillsborough. Mr. Terry Curran, steady away, son. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm steady away for sure. I'm steady away. Enjoyed some football this weekend, and not so much my team, Sheffield Wednesday. But other than that, not too bad.
Gotta say, you did take an early lead there at Hull City, but Hull ran out 4-2 winners. Let's start on the magic moments, because one of my magic moments is from the goal scorer for Hull City that day. Classic strike. But you go first, T.
Well, there's been that many goals again this weekend, it's phenomenal. The amount of great goals what are scored, the magic moments. It truly is, and I do enjoy some of it, But the magic moment I'm going for is not a goal, and like I said, there was plenty of great goals this weekend. But Martinelli for Arsenal, to turn around on the ball and then backheel it, absolutely brilliant, great initiative, piece of skill. But he's that type of player what can do it, and he's the type of player the fans want to see.
Absolutely, and you're spot on, T. It isn't all about goals. The magic moment is a moment of magic. Sometimes it results in a goal, sometimes it results in a goalkeeper saving a sure goal, and sometimes it results in somebody doing something on the ball with an assist that produces a goal. Martinelli, tremendous player. I keep hearing these clowns on in the media trying to convince me that the missing piece of the jigsaw is Declan Rice. He's the player that's going to take them over the line. For me, Martinelli is a tremendous player. With more games, he's going to get better. And on his day, I think that kid's unstoppable.
Well, I think they're a brilliant football team, is Arsenal.
Yeah, they are.
And more than anyone, I spoke about Arteta being a league coach. But I've watched Newcastle this season. These look hungry.
Yeah.
They've added to a very good squad. The manager's the right manager for them. But what I look at when I look at things like that, Manchester City have to have a shocking season for them to lose the league. They're just way far in front of everyone else. And I wish Arsenal all the best. I wish Newcastle all the best. But for me, Man City, and whenever they've got that Pep Guardiola, yes, he spends money, but does he spend it wisely? Does he? This teams run out winners. They absolutely tire teams out.
Absolutely.
And they frustrate teams because they just can't get the ball. And when they get it, majority of teams give it them back straight away because they're just completely a bag of nerves.
Like rabbits in the headlights, aren't they? We are going to be talking about our top four shortly, but I'm just going to go on to my magic moments. Caden Jackson's goal for Ipswich against Stoke. What
Brilliant.
A team goal. I thought that was fabulous and great to see because, Ipswich got promoted from, in old money, the third division last year. They're into Division 2 this year, which is now called the Championship. But great to see them still playing that way of football. I can't stand these, again, commentators that say, oh, you're going up to another league, you've got to change your style, the league's going to be different. Now, keep playing football. That's a recipe and the formula for success, playing football.
The formula for success is improving Plan A.
Absolutely. There's no
you
plan
mind
B.
having a Plan B.
There's no
what
plan
was
B.
Plan B if Plan A's failing all the time?
There is no plan B. It's as you've always alluded to, it's about improving Plan A.
Exactly.
And there is no plan B. You don't see, as you've said many times on this podcast,
I'll tell you what plan. Let me just interrupt you there. I'll tell you what Plan B is.
Mm-hmm.
When you can fetch an elite substitute on.
Yeah.
That's your Plan B.
Absolutely. But you aren't going to. You aren't going to, from playing football, and you've said this many times, Man City don't just get the ball and start whacking it and lumping it into the box because it hasn't quite worked in the way they play football. No, they make substitutions, they improve their Plan A on that day, and then with the required amount of luck and skill and everything else that you need to win a game of football, they often run out winners because they always improve plan A. Simple.
Exactly. You
Simple.
know, he buys intelligent players. You know,
Absolutely.
he buys intelligent players. Are they going to have a bad patch? Of course. Are they going to have an off day? Of course.
Mm.
You know, I get it. What everybody else says. You know, anybody can do it when they've got that money. No.
No, they can't.
What I mean by that, yes,
Mm.
he's got plenty of money, but nobody can do it because you've got to handle the big name players. And what I mean by handling, the only way to handle it is for them to keep winning.
Yeah.
Because if you don't keep winning trophies, there's, they can go in and knock on the door.
If it's as
And say to the
easy,
manager, why aren't I playing?
yeah. If it's as easy just spending money and throwing money at a football club, and so that's your formula. You got lots of money, you buy these players, so you're going to win. How do you square the circle of Everton that spent almost over £500 million and almost got relegated? As you say, T, you need the elite manager. You have to get everything right in a football club. You can't just keep throwing money. You've got to spend money wisely. Pep's always done that.
Well, that's without a question of a doubt. Yes, Barcelona, massive club.
Yep.
Don't forget, Real Madrid's the biggest club in Spain.
Yep.
Make no mistake. Real Madrid pulled players from Barcelona.
Yeah, they're the biggest club in the world.
So what he did at Barcelona, because it's like Celtic and Rangers.
Yeah.
When one of them's really on top, they win it for 9, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons, don't they?
Yeah, they do.
And Real Madrid have done that for years.
Yep.
It's only when Guardiola, just before Cruyff, really started to break it down a bit, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
And then the others have carried on.
Yeah, it was Rinus Michaels.
And then Guardiola has taken Barcelona onto another level. I've seen some great football teams, but that period of 5 or 6 years when Barcelona, especially when they beat Man United at Wembley, that is the best club side I've ever seen.
100%. And that is what we want to see in playing football, producing magic moments week in, week out. And again, yes, they do have off days. Yes, they do get beat. But my word, what a joy to watch. Also a joy to watch for me. I know not for you, but Ozan Tufan, I think that's how I pronounce the Turkish fella's name. 3 goals, 1 from the penalty spot and 2 great strikes, 1 inside the box. That lad at Hull City against your boys Sheffield Wednesday. But that no, sorry, T. I'm sorry, but I do if a player scores or does something great against Birmingham, I always give them a mention as well because we just look at the magic moments. But Tufan's that 1 strike that he scored from outside the box, he just touched it and bang, back of the net.
Listen, you can see the difference in class and
quality,
and they'll because of him being a Turkish owner.
Yeah,
he'll get some of the really good players. Maybe not the elite players, but very good players. What will do really well in the Championship.
Yep.
I watched Wednesday and I thought a lot better this. But as soon as they equalised, they capitulated. It was unbelievable how they just. I never said give up. They just lost the confidence, and
absolutely.
It was 4-2, and let me tell you, so it could have been 7 or 8.
And that's it. Confidence. As soon as you go behind, then, and the team's in the ascendancy, heads drop. I watched Aston Villa. The heads dropped. Second half, that could have been 7 or 8. I thought Newcastle were tremendous. And my other magic moment, Isak's goal. I don't know what Ezri Konsa was doing. Nice and simple. Get the ball out your feet and just play it out of danger. But he got tangled up. I don't know what happened, where his mind was going. His feet were further back than what
Probably
his thoughts
panic.
were. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Corner of his eye, he's seen him coming.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
And he's actually thinking, I've got to do something quick. If the great players will always be composed, whether under pressure or not.
100%. And Isak in on goal then. If you stopped it and you're thinking, what's he going to do next? And that's the thing with great players. And what value Newcastle have had from Alexander Isak as well. He then dinked one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and I thought it was a tremendous goal, sublime skill and talent. But my number one magic moment is Dani Olmo's goal, his second goal for Red Bull Leipzig against Bayern Munich in the German Super Cup.
If
What
any of you,
a
if any of you don't,
goal!
if any of you fans don't see any these goals when Gabby talks about the teams, what's in Europe or in America, have a look on the Curran View. He
Absolutely,
posts some
yeah.
absolutely unbelievable magic moments and goals. What will take your breath away if you really want to see top players, top goals. Make no mistake, have a look at the Curran View because Gabby posts some absolutely gems up.
And there are so many gems from all around the world, and I don't see them all, but when I do see them, I post them straight into the Curran View group. And while we're
And
talking about,
we would all like all the fans what's on at the Curran View, if they see magic moments, for you to post them up
absolutely,
because
so
it might make us change our minds.
absolutely, the group is for everybody, and we're also purchasing our. You can purchase our merch. We're posting our merch on there. I'm loving the new Terry Curran mug. Terry Curran 11, Sheffield Wednesday. It looks absolutely fantastic. And all of our merch on there with its t-shirts or mugs, srbmedia.co.uk/shop. And the best way to access the full podcast, because 30 minutes is on all networks, Spotify, Acast, etc., etc. But the only way that you can access the full podcast of the Curran View is all the w's.patreon.com/SRB media. Top 40, how do you see it?
Well, I wrote about it today and I put it on
Yeah,
the Curran View and I wrote it on and I put it on my wall. How I've looked at it is the two giants of football in this country, Man United and Liverpool. I think they're going to do okay. Don't get me wrong; they
yeah,
always will. You know, I think they've got two good managers anyway. I mean, Klopp's proven himself without a question of a doubt. But why haven't these two clubs been sold? They are trying to sell them,
yeah,
but there's more to it than meets the eye. You know, they've had two big owners, two big buyers in for Man United. Um, there's more to it than meets the eye with all this. So that's going to get the fans frustrated. Once they start to hit a little bit of a bad patch, you know, it makes it more difficult for that type of team, not that type of team, but for that confidence when your Cities and your Newcastles now, what are going to be challenging, or Newcastle's going to be more challenging. Cities are going to want to break every record that what comes their way. So that I find that difficult for them. So I've gone with Man City because I just can't see anybody beat them unless City have a really bad season. Then I think it's between. I put Arsenal second, but you know, for me that's between Arsenal and Newcastle. They look very hungry, they look very lean, they look very fit, and they're definitely playing not only for the manager, they're playing for the fans, and you can see
yeah.
the smile in the face. Messi's a prime example. You look at Messi when he was at Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
You never saw him smile as much, did you?
No, he didn't. No.
And then he goes there, he's scoring goals, and he's got the biggest smile on his face, you know. So Newcastle have got all that confidence. They've got the right manager for them. I think Chelsea, now they've got Poch, I thought Liverpool did really well against them, but Chelsea came back in and started to look more stronger. Salah going off frustrated him, so he's not going to be happy if he starts bringing him off on a regular basis. So I think there's going to be a little rumpus in those two clubs, Liverpool and Man United. But it's only because they can't bring in the elite players what they're trying to bring in because, you know, they're trying to sell the club. That's why I put Chelsea in the top four. And Tottenham, I just cannot see them going in the top four whatsoever.
No. No, I can't. I look at.
And it's not just because Harry Kane's gone,
No, absolutely.
because he's scored enough goals for him to win, you know, major trophies. If you've got a goal scorer, that's a big plus.
I'm
You
looking
know,
forward to Maddison this year for
yeah, I
Tottenham.
think he'd be a plus for him.
Yeah, I think he'll make a massive difference. And I think if he would have been playing last year, I think Tottenham may well have got into that top four. I think, again, when we say one man doesn't make a team, and one man doesn't make a team, but James Maddison has a tremendous ability to find a player and put a slide rule pass. Now, let's talk about Man City briefly. Kevin De Bruyne is out for the rest of this year. He'll probably start kicking the ball in 2024. If I was Pep, and I know there's talking about Paqueta, and I like him, I think he's a tremendous footballer, my kind of player, I'd play Jack in midfield. I'd bring Jack playing in that position that Kevin De Bruyne plays, because I think that both Jack and James Maddison have got the eye for the pass. I think they're fantastic midfield players, and for the life of me, I don't know why England don't build the midfield around those two. I would have done it in the 70s
Great
around
shout.
Curry and Hudson, and I think that we're missing a trick again. But that's what I would do if I was a manager.
A great shout, but I think what Pep can play any player in any position,
Absolutely.
and they'll not miss, whether it's Jack, whether it's
Yeah.
De Bruyne, or whatsoever. We love to watch De Bruyne play. We love to watch Jack. Not everybody, because I get that.
Yeah.
But people like you, me, love to see those type of players on a football field. And you're right, 100% right. I think it'd be outstanding even more there, me. I really do. But they've got that many quality players, and it don't make any difference who comes into that team. What I say is this: everybody hits a bad patch. Choose how good you are, you will hit a bad patch.
100%. You can't just keep going and playing great football all through 10 months of the football season. You are going to hit a bad patch. It's how they bounce back, and the great
What
teams bounce back.
what did everybody start to turn around and say? When he first come to what they call it, they were going to win everything, Ireland.
Yeah.
Right? He was scoring goals for fun. As soon as he dried up for that period, that little patch he had, right? They've changed the way. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. They'll sell him next year. He's crazy, isn't it?
Oh, they're idiots. Yeah, they are idiots.
Completely crazy.
Yeah.
And what did they? They won everything. What? The League Cup they didn't win.
No.
The other three that
Southampton knocked them out, yeah.
Yeah. So, like I say, everybody has a blip, whether it's a big horse race trainer, whether it's a footballer, whether it's a manager. But at the end of the day, the cream always rises to the top.
Absolutely. And while you're talking about Haaland, I mean, again, a brace on his first outing this season. I said to Tom, I bet he's only touched the ball 7 times and he's scored twice. And then the stat come up, and I don't like stats. I'm not a stat man. I can't stand stats. But what I was trying to say is, he doesn't have to get involved in build-up play. He makes them runs, and if you find them back of the net, and that's it with Erling Haaland. He is the most prolific goal scorer of modern times.
I'm not a massive lover of Gary Lineker for what his politics are, but his timing was phenomenal. I don't think he was clever on the ball, but he was a natural goal scorer.
100%.
This kid, Haaland, not only is he a natural goal scorer, he's got balance.
Yeah.
He's got pace. He's got a touch. He's got an hunger. Not only as Pep were coming off and he's shoving the TV because Pep's having a go at him, but that's how Jack would have a go at me, because he wants another goal. And Pep's thinking, well, just get it into corners, kill the game off a little bit. But, there's no need to break ourselves and get somebody injured, But I understand him, because he wants to get another goal. So for me, he's the best we've had since Shearer's a goal scorer. But Shearer, Kane, and Lineker haven't got his ability whatsoever. Talent.
No, I think again,
That's my opinion. And,
again, he's a freak of nature, isn't he? He can score all kind of goals. He's just, if he's on the pitch, he's gonna score a goal. I mean, we're going to talk about the goal scoring records a little bit later.
I tell you what he does when he's on the pitch.
Scores.
He frightens the opposition.
Yeah, he does, because
and sometimes the players are out of position because they don't want him to get that ball or make that run.
He rents space.
And that's why you have elite managers will tell a player, let him have it there.
Yeah.
We've got somebody else what will fill in and pick him up. And that's the difference between elite managers and elite players.
Erling Haaland rents space in defenders' heads. He's
Brilliant. Without a question of a doubt, that.
He's a different class, different breed. I've gone for Manchester City to win it. And then I tossed a coin, Arsenal and Newcastle. I think that they're going to be very difficult to split them two. And if City do fall off, who knows? But I think that they're going to run them close because I do like Newcastle. I think Eddie Howe has done a fantastic job. They've got goals throughout the team. They've got goals that are coming off the bench. And I think that in front of that St James's Park crowd, I mean, they're almost worth a goal. It's like a throwback to, Kevin Keegan's time, if you like,
They've
at
got players
Newcastle.
what can handle that type of pressure. They've got proper
Absolutely.
players coming in. And what he hasn't gone and done,
Yeah.
he hasn't gone and brought 20 players at a time in.
Exactly.
He's kept the good ones and added good ones, or kept the better ones, added better players, and eventually they're going to get an elite player.
Yeah.
Mind you, I say that. That all depends what happens in Saudi, because it's just going to gazump the Premier League.
Well, yeah, Neymar's gone today, hasn't he? What's his wage? About £3 million a week. Good luck with that one. And I've gone for Liverpool to finish fourth. I still think Liverpool are going to be there or thereabouts. Chelsea, I think, could be a mixed bag. I think there could be a little bit of everything this year. I think they're going to be a little bit inconsistent, but I think they've got some good players. I don't get this.
What do you drink? What do you drink?
Red wine, generally, too.
Right.
Sending me
We'll have a bottle of red wine.
Yes, we will do.
The best red wine we can buy.
Yep.
I'll have Chelsea, you'll have Liverpool.
Yep, okay, definitely.
Okay?
Definitely.
Good.
Moises Caicedo, I looked at him and I'm thinking, £115 million. It's gone absolutely balmy. I've never seen anything of him that I've looked at him and thought, you're a top
How can
player.
you turn Liverpool down?
I don't know.
There's something wrong.
I don't know.
When a team likes Liverpool,
Yeah.
you can only turn them down, like now for Manchester City now.
Yeah.
Or Man United. Right?
But and the other boy from Southampton's going to do the same.
It's incredible, isn't it?
I just don't get it. I don't understand it. I think that Liverpool are getting Klopp. They won the league a couple of years ago. They've come very, very close. Klopp's rebuilding now. That he's moved a few players on. They got a little bit older. Of course he does, and it's in transition.
The owners will not give him the elite money. I guarantee you. They want to sell.
That is a problem for Liverpool. I agree.
These people what own these football clubs. How do you think they make their billions? They all keep saying there's no money in football. They don't come in football, right? Whatever they put in, they take twice out.
Yep.
And you notice hotels. Hotels, after about 5 to 6 years, whatever it is, they change the name to something else.
Yeah, they do.
Right? And these billionaires are the same with these football clubs.
What a lot of the billionaires do with the football clubs is they loan the football club the money to buy the players.
Yeah, so you might be right there. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's a win-win, isn't it? I'll buy the club with the club's money. I will loan the club the money, and then I'll charge him interest. Great. So I'm going to win. It's a win-win all the way round. So, watch this space.
I want to say this. Gary O'Neill, in such a short time, get a team to play as well as that with a new manager in was fantastic, because I thought they were very unlucky, Wolves, last night.
Yeah, I was dipping in and out of the game. I don't know what it is with Man United. I look at them and they don't excite me. So I was watching the game, and bits and pieces that I saw, I thought Wolves were the better side. I like Neto. I'm a big fan of Neto, and I think it's great to see him back on a pitch. And I don't think, I said this to Tom, I don't think Wolves are as bad as everyone's making out. I think if Wolves could get a goal scorer, I know that's easier said than done, but I think with the chances that Wolves made last season and this season, I like that Cunha. I think he's a good player, but he's not a natural born goal scorer. So I think they're just missing that.
If they'd have had a finish last night, they could have. You see, you can't say they could have gone 2 or 3 up, because once they score the first goal, or whatever it is, it has to go back to centre circle.
Of course it does.
So it changes the game.
Yeah, it does.
But they could go on and get 2 more quick goals. You just don't know, do you?
No, you don't. And
But
again,
they look very dangerous and look very organised and they look very confident to set managers walk out and everything else.
I think he's just got some really, really good football players that that last season wasn't getting results. And
They had 1 or 2 injuries and all, didn't they?
yeah,
The
I'd
wrong
never.
time.
I mean, one of my mates is a big, massive Wolves fan, and I said, not for 1 minute do I think you get relegated. I think you've got too much quality in your team. But the one thing that worries, well, would worry me if I was a Wolves fan, you don't score enough goals, and that's going to be your problem again this season if you can't address that situation. But I mean, they could have and should have had a penalty at the end of the game. How that referee didn't see it, how them VAR officials
Well,
didn't see it.
Fergie's on. I told
I
you,
know, I
joint
did see
panel.
your I did see your post. That's the only feasible and logical way that Fergie was on that VAR
Do you know
panel.
what they put him on that VR for? Don't you? You know what they put him on for? Fergie time. They're not bothered about goals. It's Fergie time.
But in all seriousness, how can a referee look at that and not give a penalty from his first gut feelings? Because you look and you think, the goalkeeper's come out, he's
Gabby,
got nowhere, and he's trolleyed the players. It's a
listen,
penalty.
Gabby, I give in.
I know, I give in as well.
You
I
know,
give
to
in.
talk about, but I've only fetched that up for a laugh.
Yeah, I
You
know.
know, you went into the pub, you talked about the
Yeah,
players, or you
yeah,
said that you know that referee was
yeah,
absolutely useless today. They're
yeah.
talking about VAR.
I know, I know. But again, I'm talking about the referee. How does the referee on field miss that? Terry Curran's playing for Sheffield Wednesday, and the ball comes in. The goalkeeper takes you out, wipes you out. How does Terry Curran not get a penalty for Sheffield Wednesday? That
I would
referee
have, first
seen
and foremost, I wouldn't have let him wipe me out once I got 1-1 against the goalkeeper, but I gone back round him.
yeah,
Because
on
the
your hands
referee
and
can't make a mistake. But yes, unless I'm joking, you know.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
you're 100% right. I mean, what could anybody say about it?
But it's just
But it's wrong, isn't it?
yeah, it was just a nailed on Stonewall penalty. I mean, there's just no other decision that you could give apart from a
That
penalty.
same referee, his next game, will give a penalty for the same type of thing if it happens. I'll give
He's,
it to you.
he's been suspended, hasn't he? And the VAR people for this weekend's round of fixtures.
Well,
But
which bookies have got into him?
well,
Have they been just-
well, again, you don't know, do you? I know, and I did post on the Curran View last night. If that is Manchester United last minute kicking towards the Stretford end in the same situation as Wolves are, that they're chasing the game, does the referee give a penalty? 100% yes, he does.
I get that, but
100% he
I
gives it.
do get that, and you know, I think you're right what you're saying, but it's not just Man United; it's the top clubs, isn't it? Liverpool get
100%.
them, Man City get them now, Arsenal
100%.
get them. You
Yep,
know, it's the
100%.
top clubs, and it
100%.
always goes against the bottom of middle of road clubs,
Yeah, and
middle of table, I should say.
And this is what that VAR was brought in to address that, and it ain't. It's made it worse. But we're not talking about VAR. We've given it far too much time on this podcast this week so far, too. Book Corner in association with myfootballbooks.com. Andy always gives us a recommendation. This Thursday, I'm doing part 13 of our football book podcast with Andy, where we spend 90 minutes talking about football books. On with the Cosmos, the story of Steve Hunt with Ian McCauley. I've actually got this book. I haven't read it yet. Forward by Adrian Charles. But the New York Cosmos, what an iconic team. And in fact, when the players would go into Studio 54, which was the top nightclub in New York, and there'd be queues round the block, the players would just go to the front of the queue and say, I'm with the Cosmos, and they'd let him in, hence the name of the book. And on this day yesterday, in 1977, I believe, the New York Cosmos destroyed Fort Lauderdale 8-3, and Stevie Hunt scored a couple of goals. Even Pelé loved him.
Brilliant, absolutely fantastic. I remember him playing myself. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, again, you had you did have a chance because Alan Hinton wanted you to go out and play for Seattle in
Yeah,
1979, wasn't it? Alan Hudson, of
yeah.
course, was already out there. I think you'd have loved your time out there too. The NASL was a fantastic league, and
And to listen to the rest of this podcast, head on over to www.patreon.com/SRBmedia. Thank you.